Daliuski. Dalius.
Spavinowa, Spa, Thy, Na.
Tennessee? Coyote?
Maya Laquea? Got me on that one too.
The street names of Tellico Village. Who can pronounce them? Even Siri has a problem.
Owahili, Uno, Catite, Cheestadini.
Street savvy. How do you say those names? Shiyo. That means hello in Cherokee. And the purpose of this program is to help us understand the meaning and the pronunciation behind the street and community names of Tellico Village. This is a magical place with difficult to pronounce names. But once you understand the meaning behind the names and a little bit of how to pronounce them, then it's going to be easy to sit back, relax, and just enjoy the magic of Tellico Village.
The idea for both the subdivisions and neighborhoods and the streets was worked out in conjunction with Dr. King and our land planners and engineers. And it basically started with the subdivisions, our neighborhoods, and each neighborhood had a different name based on Kahiti was named after the chiefs of Tellico Village, or the Cherokee Nation, and they did that primarily because Kahiti was adjacent to the Sequoia birthplace, which is right across the lake. And then the streets in Kahiti were named after other Cherokee chiefs. And then each neighborhood had a theme. The streets followed whatever the subdivision was. And for instance, because I live in Tokwa neighborhood, Tokwa basically is based on a myth of the Cherokee Indians of a man that was swallowed by a giant fish. And then, so that's how Tokwa got its name. And then all the names of the streets within Tokwa neighborhood are named after fish. And because I live on Chunalati, that's the only one I know, it's a rainbow trout.
There was nothing here. And it was just remarkably beautiful. I've worked on dozens, if not hundreds, of subdivisions, and this place was unique of any place I'd ever been in East Tennessee.
My husband and I moved in the village in 1989. The village started in '87, so there were less than 300 people when we were here.
My first impression when I drove into Tellico Village was how beautiful the houses were and the water, and but there were not many people.
There have been human habitation in the Little Tennessee River Valley for over 8,000 years. And when the Spanish explorers came in the 1500s, the Cherokee were the main inhabitants. In 1721, the Cherokee town of Tunisi was the home of the emperor of the Cherokee Nation. Tunisi could have been the foundation for the state name of Tennessee.
When I came here, there was one street, and that was Tokwa Road. It was gravelled. Chunalati was being graded, and Chota was being graded. And there wasn't a single house anywhere except Bowman Estate.
Other names and locations from this time included Chota and Tokwa, that were both names of Cherokee tribal councils, and Tomatli and Mialakwo, and Ustanali, the names of area towns at the time. The developers of Tellico Village were told that there were two ancient Cherokee towns under Tellico Lake, hence the Cherokee connection.
When you're living in Tellico Village, one of the first things you notice is that almost everything has a native name to it. Every road is named with words from the Cherokee language, because this whole area around here used to be property of the Cherokee.
The name Tellico Village, as they were looking at kind of a theme for the village, in talking with TRDA and TVA, they had done extensive research before they built the reservoir here. And part of that research was with the help of Dr. King, who was a PhD anthropologist that worked with UT and also with TVA. And they thought that it would be good to incorporate the Cherokee heritage in the name and the nomenclature of Tellico Village. And Tellico, from what I understand, was both the name of a Cherokee village or city and also the name of a Cherokee chief.
The group that we know as the Cherokee came down from the Iroquois area, which is upstate New York and Canada. It was cold up there, and they were an agrarian group. The Cherokee are noted for being good warriors. The Cherokee that came down here were, but they were more agrarian, looking for places where they could have vegetables and have a better, warmer climate. So they've been here for thousands of years, but there were others before them.
It was slow going for Cooper Development and those early pioneers of Tellico Village. But one thing was pretty sure, the street names.
Taliquia? Taliquia.
Eufaula. Eufaula. Eufaula.
Yeah, that sounds possibly Cherokee.
And it was Dwayne King, Dr. King from the Smithsonian Institution, who spoke Cherokee, came down into this area, and he was the one that gave the names to the roads. For example, Salagoogie, where I used to live, with a hard G. Some people say Salagoogie, but the Cherokee say it's a hard G. So Salagoogie means mud turtle. So each of the early names had a Cherokee name for it.
Kahiti, which was named after the Cherokee chiefs. Mialakwa has to do with the water beetle, and the names in the Mialakwa neighborhood are refer to rivers and creeks. Chattooga neighborhood has symbolized by the deer, and then the streets in Chattooga neighborhoods are named after Cherokee names for other mammals. Okay, in the Chota neighborhood, symbolized by a giant hawk, and streets within Chota are named after other birds in that theme. The Tomotley neighborhood, symbolized by the constellation, I think it's Pleiades, and the myth, the Dancing Boys, and then that same theme is through Tomotley, and then Coity, the furthest north neighborhood, is symbolized by the laurel tree, and the streets within Coity are named after trees in the Cherokee names.
Hi, I'm Charlie Rodarmer, Manager Director of the Sequoia Birthplace Museum in Von Orr, Tennessee. Tokwa, Dr. King named everything with aquatic animals or fish. Dr. King's original thought was by naming the towns and then going with a theme like the aquatic animals and fish, that the communities would develop logos and build the community tighter together.
Logos?
Eufaula. Eufaula.
Tuwika. Tuwika to walk up the hill.
In the English language, you combine different letters with other different letters, and you have a sound. Well, that's fine. We're used to it. But in Sequoia's syllabary, he has one symbol for every syllable in the Cherokee language.
The difficulty for English-speaking people is that the Cherokee language, as developed by Sequoia and his daughter, has 85 characters versus the 26 letters of the English alphabet.
Sequoia announces, hey, we could create a writing system. We could put our Cherokee words on paper. And so he began in 1809 trying to create a writing system. He tries hieroglyphics, he tries other things, he realizes that he can't remember all these symbols, and the Cherokee people would never learn it. So he ends up There's different stories, there's a multitude of different stories. My favorite story is one day he's sitting listening to the birds sing. And he listens to the song and he hears repetitive sounds in the song. And so then he starts listening to his family, his friends and neighbors, and he starts pulling the repetitive sounds out. He finds 87 sounds that he gives symbols that he creates in his own mind by his own hand. And thus Sequoyah created the Sequoyah syllabary.
Think about that. You have one person, Sequoyah, working with his daughter and his brother-in-law, and within 10 years, they have a symbol for every single syllable in the Cherokee language.
So we went to the Sequoyah Museum and asked Cherokee language teacher Lou Jackson to pronounce our village names.
I'm Lou Jackson. I'm from the Snowbird community, Tuti as we call it.
The Chattooga neighborhood.
I would pronounce this word Doyi, and it means beaver, or it can mean outdoors. Kiyuga, and it means chipmunk. Ogana, and it means groundhog. Tladaji, and it means lion. And I would say this word Yona, and it means bear. Shaloli, and it means squirrel.
The Tokwa neighborhood.
I will pronounce this word Gawada Oska, could be waterfall or dripping water. Kanunu, and it means bullfrog. Saligugi, and it means mud turtle. I would pronounce this word Gistani, and it means crayfish. Jogi, and it means upstream. Walosi, and it means frog. Gaya, and it means downstream. Dakshi, and it means turtle.
Huh. Tush datis. Tudashish? Tush? Oh, dashi. T.
That word's unpronounceable. Nobody can say that.
The Chota neighborhood.
And I would pronounce this word Kolana, and it means raven. Ahawolin, and it means eagle. Ugugu, and it means hoot owl. Koga, and it means crow. Kawanu, and it means duck. I would pronounce this word Wahoo, meaning screech owl.
Ulojila.
Onagaila. Onagaila.
Ulogila.
Olagila.
When I am translating a word, I need to know whether it's a person, a place, an item, or an animal.
The Mialakwa neighborhood.
And I would say Inagei, and it means wilderness or in the woods. Elohi, and it means earth. Noya, and it means sand. Naya, and it means rock. Ulogila, and it means cloudy. And I would pronounce this word Unole, and it means wind. Ustagala, and it means cavern. Gado, and it means ground. Gadushi, and it means hill.
Milagua? Miliaqua? Got me on that one too. Wow.
The Cherokees have different dialects, and so a person from Snowbird near Robbinsville might say a word or a phrase one way, and then if you go to Big Cove over in Cherokee, North Carolina, they may say it a different way or a different inflection.
During the early years, we didn't have many residents. We started the home building in 1986 and just had a handful of residents scattered out in the Tokwa and Chattooga neighborhoods. And of course, everybody here is aware that, you know, some of the names are a challenge to pronounce. And so basically in the early years, whoever was the first person on the street got to determine how you pronounce the name.
Inagihai. Way.
In age high.
Anikiwa.
Inagihi. Final answer.
And I would say Inagei, and it means wilderness or in the woods.
Somebody asked me how come the names were Cherokee, and I said, well, they were, as I said before, Dr. King had named them. But as the village began to grow, more and more names were needed, and Dr. King had moved to become a director of a museum out in California, so the person that was giving us the names was no longer available.
A language changes every decade, and you can imagine how much a language changes in a century. And so I think this is one of the reasons Cherokee is no different than the English language, and pronunciations change.
So maybe there is no right or wrong way to pronounce the street names of Tellico Village. But now you know a little bit more of the history of the development of the village, the neighborhoods, and the street names. If you are watching this on YouTube, please like, comment, and share the video. If you want more information about the street names, please scan the QR code on the screen. And if you want more information about Sequoia's syllabary, please scan this QR code. So until we meet again, Te Dada Gohunyan, which means until we meet again.